We even hear it when nearby streets have been overlaid, that now their street's pretty, ours is not pretty.
Right.
Just if y'all want it pretty at some point in time.
Yeah, it's gonna be-
Tell us, but there's a price tag.
Yeah, it's going to be 60
associated
cents
with it.
instead of 47 cents.
What other, well, while we're here talking about streets, and this gets a little away from this, but the question always comes up, what streets do we have left that are not curb and guttered? And we're down to just a handful. Ross Lane, that is right adjoining Fire Station 3, goes down, there's like 4 or 5 houses on it, and it goes down in dead ends. There is not really much motivation to put curb and gutter down there.
Yeah, Oak, isn't it Oak Lane?
Oak,
Yeah, they
there's
don't,
another one, they don't
residents do
want
not
it.
want that.
So that what we need to be doing up there is maintaining that existing pavement. Vine Street, the little part between Highway 10 and Huffman,
Right.
they don't want it. East Alexander between Main Street and Cullum, the job we're doing now, and then your Cresthaven Highland, that we believe will be taken care of with developers at some point in time. So if it commits one.
I think that's about it.
So I don't think we don't have a street in our 5-year plan, do we?
Alexander is in the very last
5.
year.
And we keep kicking it down.
Yeah.
But there's only 4 or 5 houses on it as well. So,
Gary,
sir.
is Harwood Road from 157 to Main Street, that's asphalt, is it not?
Yes, it is asphalt.
There are some.
Yeah, it's weighty.
Yeah, it's not a perfectly smooth road. I think it's in pretty good shape. I don't know if y'all know. You may not have the data here to say what its rating is,
I don't.
but it is it's in pretty good shape.
So I think that was another question that I had is, if you come on with a thick asphalt overlay, what does that do to the manholes? Does that then create the boom on the manholes?
It shouldn't. You should be able to adjust the height of your manholes when you. The way we normally do it is we mill off the old surface an inch or so, because we also got to tie in with the existing curb and gutter line.
Yeah, you don't actually throw it on top.
And then you come in and adjust your manholes. It's not always perfect because the rings that you adjust manholes come in certain heights. So you got either, a lot of times you'll either be low or high if you're doing something that's not of the original. So it's not a perfect fit at that point because you may only need to lower it, raise it 1.5 inches, but guess what? Your manhole ring is 2 inches. So that's where you get your bump.
I know we've asked this question over the years, and how you haven't been here long enough really to have a chance to do this, but I really would like to see a good assessment this next year or the following year of our sidewalks. Trying to get an idea of what it's going to cost us to move our hydrants out of the sidewalks and some of those issues as we move forwards. I think it's time for us to start looking at some of those issues as we move forwards because we do have some sidewalks that are doing this. I know we address those when they're brought to us, but I know that may be a difficult task to do that type of assessment, how to kind of see where we are.
Well, I mean, we look at our ADA pieces at our intersections. I don't think we've done much in between blocks, is what you're talking about.
Yeah. I know. I mean, I don't think we're as bad as I think we are, but I think it'd be a good idea to get a good assessment.
If you're looking at what did you say, 159 miles or whatever the mile
Center line mile.
is, you're looking at almost double that of sidewalk.
Yeah, you would think that.
Yeah.
Probably not all those streets have
They don't all
sidewalks,
have,
but
a lot of them do, and it's
probably 80% of that probably.
Yeah. Well, then you got to double it because you got on both sides of the street.
That's true. That's true.
some places.
Yeah. I know it'd be a huge task, but I mean, maybe even just a good, I hate to use the word, but a wind assessment, just driving our streets and just having our guys just, hey, anytime you see something, address that. I just think it'd be a good idea for us to start looking at doing some of that too.
Is the hydrant deal, is that an ADA violation, the hydrant in the sidewalk?
I think what we've done in the past, even though where there's a hydrant, usually we've tried to maintain that distance where we have to go around a hydrant. So a certain width, is that right, Gary?
Yeah, you have to have, what is it?
38 inches.
38 inches.
Yeah.
clearance.
And normally that's happened, so that's not a problem for a wheelchair accessibility.
Because it's so expensive to move that hydrant, you know? So we try to do a good cost, you know, use of the money. I mean, you can adjust that sidewalk a little bit, instead of having to move the hydrant. But,
And we can certainly work on that. One thing that would help a great deal is again, going back to the articles, what we really need is residents to call us.
yeah,
Because
access.
some of that is even hard to see from them driving by. But if we could get our residents to use Access Euless and call us, I did it in my own neighborhood
Me too.
a few weeks back, and I mean, it was fixed quickly. And it was a typical deal, and it came back from my granddaughter's trip. And what we really need is people to call us and let us know that where we fix what really needs.
And those are really the concerns, the tripping hazards. Because all it takes is one lawsuit, and the money that we didn't spend on that tripping hazard could get expensive. So those are the ones more than, you know, if it's a general up and down, that's not a problem. But when you have a tilt in the panels, and you can go in there and fix that, keep somebody from falling,
Right.
that's important.
Because we're starting to see a lot more power chairs, scooters. Not talking about your scooter, Jeremy, but I'm talking about power chairs. You know, you got good shocks, and you just Evel Knievel if it roll that over.
Was there a
But you-
conclusion about the feasibility of the sidewalk on 157 north of that QT between there and the?
We have got some slides here that we can bring up in a minute. It's actually on Harwood, and it's a really good example. So we don't hold Zach up because he's got to fly here. If you let us get through that, and then we'll go right through that. But, anything else on pavement or?
Thank you.
And I'm kind of surprised at the outcome, to tell you the truth. It may look like we hired somebody to
Sugarcoat it.
sugarcoat it, and I'm hoping they didn't, but.
I don't think he did.
That was my fear coming in. This is pretty good news. This doesn't usually
Great
happen that
news.
way.
It's all about following the money in the survey, right? It's all who paid for the survey gets the better result.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pleased with that, but I really do think that there's a lot of credit needs to be given to those guys from a long time ago. They really have done a good job of assessing that. And then the other part of that is how's guys that is foremen and lead men that play the part in selecting these streets, they don't have thumpers. They don't have whatever that ground sensing radar is.
Stompers is good. Yeah.
But what they have is experience, and I think it's a real credit to those employees out there that do that. We don't have this done for our water and sewer service lines, but I think you find much the same thing on them, that they're in pretty good shape. And that is in great part due to our employees and the city's commitment to the infrastructure improvement.
Well, this is my fourth city, and none of the other three have rated this high. And I did it. I was kind of surprised as well.
So you're getting better, you're saying?
I'm getting better at selecting cities. That's what I did.
Okay, is there no other questions from the side?
Thank you.
Go.
Appreciate it.